everybody. Welcome back to the Rollers Guild, episode 17 of the Gilded City. Last time was a very fun one, long one, but I hope you all enjoyed our party's lovely time at the Midwinter Ball. So if you enjoyed that episode and you're looking forward to this episode and all the episodes still to come, please make sure that you leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the podcast, share with everybody that you know that you think would like it, and follow us on social media at Rollers Guild D&D on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But I think that is it. So we will go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of the Gilded City. Last time, after successfully completing the Bloodkeith heist, the party delivered the information they had found to Freedom and her associates. Freedom thanked them and officially inducted the party into the Harpers after some trepidation from some members of the party. After concluding business with Freedom by selecting their next target, the party left, only to reconvene on Midwinter for Congressman Herb Davis's Midwinter Ball. While there were some intriguing interactions, to say the least, but everybody left the ball having had a lovely time, looking forward to what's next for them. And of course, after dropping off everybody back home, Artemis turned around and slept with Congressman Herb Davis.
As you do.
As you do.
Listen, he was cute.
Barely any information.
So with that, Freedom had asked you all to, be patient for the next couple 10 days while Mavrius, the magistrate that's involved with the Harpers, worked on pursuing the Bloodkeith case further, really get the ball rolling on that. And in the meantime, Freedom was going to do some research on your next target, Diero Marivaldi. So you've got 10 days of downtime to spend. So we'll just go through real quick what each of you are doing during that time. And we'll do like 1 or 2 scenes for each person, and then pick up with the next leg of the adventure at the end of this 10 days of downtime.
Cool.
So first up, we will actually start with Artemis. So Artemis, what are you focusing on during this this period of this 20 days of downtime?
Right. Okay, well, now that there's a list of targets.
Oh, sorry. Let me interrupt real quick again. I forgot to mention, the day of the Bloodkeith heist was everybody's last payday.
Oh.
So, money.
That's important.
Yes. So, as a reminder, Nyx, you can add 10 talents. Bowman, you can add 10 talents. Penny, this was before your raise, so this one is still 25 talents. Octavia, 200 talents. Janara, your fund has been reset. And then Artemis, because we are still seeing how pleased with your work your brother is. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me for how well you were able to sell Bright Shield Vintage.
Do you want me to use level 4 bonus or level 5?
Oh yeah, that's true. Go ahead and use level 4 bonus.
Okay. That would be an 18.
An 18. Okay. This time you receive the payment from your brother. Thick envelope with the in there with the bills is a very short letter from your brother Dagrin that says, "Much better work, brother dear. Your allowance has been restored." And you get 275 talents.
Oof. Oh, great.
So now we move into that period of downtime. Artemis, what are you doing?
Well, first I will send a cordial thanks letter to him. Also want to slip in there a question on if he plans on seeing Waterdeep anytime soon.
Yeah.
Just ask, kind of fishing for that. But
okay.
In general, so now that we've got like things brewing, Artemis definitely. I imagine I'm going to run into more excitement. So the last couple times, the spells haven't exactly always been landing, and people keep getting knocked down in a fight. So I want to follow a bit of lore that I know from a song. Specifically, I'm looking, there's an instrument used by some of the greatest adventuring bards of old to like craft their songs. So I want to do some research in both tinkering with my own instruments to try to find, the right arcane melodies, but also maybe even go and do some, book reading, or talk to even the guy I met at the party, the Open Lord's mage friend.
Okay.
If I can find that connection.
Yeah.
Kind of see what they know.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And so, and just to be clear, what you're looking to craft is the rhythm maker's drum, correct?
Is the rhythm maker's drum, if I can put it onto my own instruments at all, which is not a drum,
sure.
That would be preferable.
Okay.
But
yeah. Yeah, so you start doing some research into this. Just from your just from your preliminary research that this is going to require spending a fair bit of money on materials in order to make this a possibility. But yeah, you start looking around. Go ahead and make for me, let's call this, I guess it depends on what you think Artemis would be doing more. Is Artemis going to be spending more time in like libraries? And if so, that's an investigation check. Or if you think Artemis is going to spend more time trying to like use what connections he can to get somebody to tell him the information he needs, make a persuasion check.
Yeah, he's not a very bookish person, much to his father's disappointment. So I think he'll start off with the books, get bored, and try to work the persuasion angle.
Great. Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Let's see. 24.
24. Okay. Yeah. I would say that you only met the Open Lord's Archmage friend once, but you also have a connection with Congressman Herb Davis, who is not interested in anything serious, but enjoyed the evening that the two of you spent together.
Glad we're on the same page.
And he uses his connections to get you a meeting with Archmage Amos Durant.
Amos Durant, that's his name. Okay.
So you you go to Amos's home, which is a wizard tower in the Terrace Ward. Now, the Terrace Ward of the city is not a ward that people outside of arcane circles frequently visit. The Terrace Ward is home to the vast majority of mages that live in the city. There are some that live in different locations, right? Leaf, of course, lives elsewhere in the city. Thomas Evenwood, who's an inventor but is also a practitioner of the arcane arts, lives in the Sea Ward, just as a couple more well-known wizards who live in the city examples. But most of them live in the Terrace Ward. Terrace Ward is also home to the magic academies based in Waterdeep, and thus is home to a lot of businesses that cater to students and professors and other academics. The Terrace Ward is built on the steepest parts of the slope of Mount Waterdeep. So thus the name, the Terrace Ward. The roads are very, very hilly, and so almost all the buildings are built out on terraces that have been built into the mountainside. And the very, very top of Mount Waterdeep is the roosting point of the city's famous Griffin Cavalry, which work with the police force. But you make your way into this part of town between, because this is an area of the city that is mostly inhabited by wizards and other mages, they all have an extremely eclectic architectural taste.
I love this.
Everybody seems like each wizard tower you pass by, and there's there's probably dozens of them in this part of town. Not everything here is a wizard tower, but there's dozens of wizard towers here. And they every single wizard tower seems like it's trying to show up all the other wizard towers. So there's wizard towers built at like weird angles. You see one that has like 15 telescopes sticking out at different points up and down the actual tower itself. You pass by one tower that it's just a tree though, but you see like windows built into the side of the tree. All sorts of crazy colors. You pass by one tower that literally color that changes color like regularly, like in a wave. Every like 30 seconds a new color covers the tower. And as you make your way through this place, following the directions that you received to Amos's wizard tower, you eventually arrive at a more understated wizard tower. It's certainly a very nice looking tower. It's got a very impressive garden outside, fenced in with sort of a wrought iron gate. And the base of the tower is a little bit wider, more like an actual home of some kind. But then, of course, huge tower sticking up out of the center of it, tall, straight, and made out of sort of a very white stone. It goes all the way up to like a peaked red gabled roof. And as you approach the front door and knock, there's a brief moment before the door opens, but you don't see anybody on the other side of the door. And you just hear a voice call from further in. Step on inside. Oh, this is not the voice I gave him last time. Hold on. Step on inside. First door on your left brings you right into the sitting room.
Thank you. I'm just gonna kind of nod a little bit everywhere and kind of.
Yeah, and
head
you
that way.
enter sort of just entry area. You're in sort of a hall that seems to go down the center of like the house part, and you can see right in the center of this hall is a spiral metal staircase that disappears into the ceiling. You imagine based on the positioning into the actual tower part. There's you see some paintings on the wall, some of landscapes, some of magical creatures, some of individuals. Every once in a while, you swear out of the corner of your eye, you see a painting moving, but as soon as you look, it's stock still.
Freaking Hogwarts, man.
But there is an obvious door right on your left. Step through into a large, comfortable sitting room, blazing fireplace, sort of very nice purple armchairs, and a couch in here. A sort of a center table which has some tea prepared on it, as well as some biscuits of various sorts. And Archmage Amos Durant is sitting there. As a reminder of what he looks like, very tall, dark-skinned human man, 30s or 40s. He's got long, dark hair that he keeps in braids, which he has sort of pulled back behind his head, and he's got beads woven into his hair. Today, he is wearing just sort of a very like casual robes. The last time you saw him at the party, at the Midwinter party a couple days ago, he was wearing like these very formal, nicely put together blue and silver wizard's robes. Today he's wearing just some like simple beige wizard's robes, and some comfortable slippers. The beads in his hair have changed color to match his robes. And his eyes, which you saw were glowing blue to match his robes the other night at the Midwinter Ball, are just a natural deep brown now.
Right.
Yes, Mr. Brightshield, I assume?
Archmage Durant, thank you so much for seeing me. It's a pleasure.
Of course. Have a seat.
Take one
Yes,
of the purple armchairs.
Congressman Davis reached out, said you were doing some arcane research that I might be able to help with.
Indeed, that's the hope. And I explain that I've heard of this instrument from several of the bards of old. I've been following these stories and songs my whole life, much like I imagine you have followed the weaving scholarship of the arcane. It's my curiosity that I'm hoping to follow. I was wondering if you had any information that could perhaps help me in my abilities of crafting such an item, or if you happened to have one on you, even.
Well, I'm afraid I wouldn't have much use for a bardic instrument. Unlike you, my magic comes, as you say, from intense study of the weave and how to manipulate it. But I perhaps have some things that might be able to help you. Some books on enchantment of magical items and that sort of thing. I'd be happy to loan you a tome or two that I think might prove useful to your endeavors.
That would be very helpful. Thank you. Is there anything I can do to in thanks for this?
Oh, think nothing of it. Very easy for me to do. I'll consider it as a favor to the congressman. He's been a good friend and ally to the Open Lord, and any friend and ally to the Open Lord is a friend of mine.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much.
Of course. If you would just wait patiently, I will go see if I can find some books that actually. He thinks for a moment. I think I know which books I should loan you. I don't think I need to go look at them myself. And you see him, his hands and fingers move, and you see sort of this series of arcane runes appear in the air between his hands as he does. And after the runes fade, he's like, "It'll be just a moment, and the books should be right down." Now, of course, you understand that enchantment of magical items is, well, a couple of things. Number one, it can be quite expensive. I hope you know some places where you can procure the supplies that you may need. And secondly, of course, I always have to ask in my capacity about just about your magic license certification.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Well, I'd almost forgotten about it. It's just something that renew regularly. So, of course, everything about this, and to keep you, the Congresswoman, and the Open Lord safe, will be above the books and following it to the letter.
Yeah.
Do you need a deception check?
Yeah, I do need a deception check.
27.
All right, fair enough. I just, figured I'd check the
Of course.
magic license.
You wouldn't be doing your
system.
job otherwise.
Exactly. Yes. Moment passes, door opens into the room, and a stack of 5 books just comes floating in, and passed into your hands as if somebody were handing them to you, but you don't see anybody.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Best of luck, and if your enchantment process is successful, please come show me the final results. I'd be interested in seeing it.
More than happy. When I return these, of course.
Yes.
And I'll get the name of the place, of any places that he might know to get these supplies.
Yeah. He gives you several places, a couple shops in the Terrace Ward. He does let you know that, of course, you will need to bring your magic license with you to purchase things there.
Convenient. Great.
Now, here's the thing. Artemis does know a place where he doesn't need a magic license.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah. Great.
With that, Artemis, you spend the next the rest of this downtime.
Yeah, during the days.
On this magic item during the days, yes. And I will just go ahead and say that you are because of your magic license status, you will have to go to Snap to get most of your supplies, but that's easy enough. He knows who you are. He's willing to sell to you. So there's that. Also in the middle of this, 2 10-day period, there is, of course, another allowance day. Now, I believe that since this is an uncommon magic item that you are crafting, that is 28-hour days, which you've got, 2 10 days. That's 20 days. So you've got the time, and then the total cost, and I would assume you can spread out that cost over the period of time. The total cost to make an uncommon magic item is going to be 500 gold pieces.
Yeek. All right. Great. And you said, is it the 175 or 275 that comes in again?
275 would come in again.
Comes in again. Okay, let me add that first. Boink. And now subtract 500, you said?
Yes.
Great. I was so rich. Remove. Okay.
And then, so you do that during the day. It's an 8-hour workday. You are sort of tired and worn out, especially mentally at the end of each of these days. But what are you doing in the evenings?
For the evenings, I want to try and earn my keep at some sort of finer establishment
Okay.
by playing and entertaining, and of
Okay.
course promoting the wine. To not only like gain a little more standing within the city,
Yeah.
but also among the nobility, but also to maybe understand them a little more and just keep an eye out for if anyone understands or feels the same sort of ways that my friends have been mentioning. See if anyone understands that.
Sure.
Just
Yeah, go.
in general, not bringing attention to it,
Yeah.
but just trying to get to know folks. Mostly trying to get a place to earn my pipes.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make a performance check for this period. We'll just do one performance check for this period. But,
Great.
you can recoup hopefully a little bit of money.
Yeah. Performance. I don't know what that one is. That is 17.
17. Pretty good. Yeah. You start making inroads at sort of a nicer establishment in sort of the richer parts of town. And yeah, you make I would say over the course of the 10 days for the 17. Let's say you make back 160 talents. Very, very successful. Two 10 days of performances. And just in terms of like keeping your ear to the ground on what the wealthy folks of the city seem to be feeling and thinking and that sort of thing. There are certainly some who have a very paternalistic series of thoughts and feelings about the poor of the city, of like, oh, those poor people, yeah, we should do what we can to educate them and lift them up out of their squalor, because they often unfortunately don't know what's best for them, so we should really help guide them, that very like paternalistic approach.
Sure.
You get some people who have just an extremely just vile attitude towards poor folks. Poor folks are poor because they're lazy. Poor folks are poor because they deserve to be poor. Poor folks are poor because they don't work hard enough. Those sorts of things. I mean, sort of running the gamut. You get the sense that very, very few of the people in this establishment and in other establishments that you visit during this time, you get the sense that very, very few of them have ever actually spent any time getting to know anybody outside of their own social class.
Sure. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Great.
Those are my 2
okay.
weeks. So do I add basically the drum to inventory?
Yes, actually, let's do for the hell of it, make an Arcana check, and I will let you make it with advantage, because you got some really, really good instructional manuals from Archmage Amos Durant.
Okay. That's good. That's good that it's at advantage, because that was bad. Hey, and that's the natural 20 for 22.
Very nice. Yes, with that, you are able to apply the enchantment of the Rhythm Maker's drum to an instrument of your choice that you own.
I think I'm going to choose my mandolin.
Excellent. So yeah, now your mandolin has the properties of the Rhythm Maker's drum.
Great.
The magical properties. I mean, it's still a mandolin. It's not a drum, but...
Artemis shows up to the next battle and just starts banging.
He's got like a one-man band set up now. Yeah.
Real stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, next up, Penny. What's Penny's plan during these 10 days?
Well, one thing Penny's doing is going with Octavia to the Cliff Ward to see Donald McCready, who was a contact given from
Yep.
Pierre.
Yeah.
This
When
one.
we'll do that with both
Okay.
of you in a moment, but I want to
Okay.
go
Well,
through
then-
the other stuff that you might be doing on your own.
Penny is basically, she's got 4 days to save the house because I am thinking that's about all I have because I have until the 4th of the Claw of Winter, and I think we're at the 1st of the Claw of Winter now.
Yep.
So I have 4 days.
Yes. How much money has Penny been able to squirrel away for this?
Penny has 1,303 talents. So I need 1,039 more. So I'm hoping she's going to talk to her dad because, right, he has a retirement plan or a savings account, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah. So the evening of the 1st, this is the day your twin brothers get back to town. You all gather together for a family meeting about how you can attempt to save the house. Your older twin brothers are Peter Presswell Jr. and Paul Presswell, a very P name family. Obviously, because they are twins, they look very, very similar. They're both a few years older than you, both, in their 20s now. They've got Peter has sort of bright auburn hair, green eyes, and freckles. And he's like grown out his facial hair a little bit. You think in an attempt to hide the freckles. And he also has the big distinguishing feature between him and Paul, is that Peter's nose is slightly twisted to the left, and Paul's nose is slightly twisted to the right. Both incidents both caused by the same fight that they had when they were younger, and they broke each other's noses, but in opposite directions.
Stupid cute.
But Paul looks basically the same. He even has grown out some scruffy facial hair, just like Peter. So, the four of you all gather around the kitchen table to discuss the house. And you come in. It's been a little bit since you've seen Peter and Paul. They just got reassigned back to Waterdeep. They've been in the army, but they come over to you and hug you and how you doing, Penny?
I am great. I'm great. How are you? How are you two?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, can't complain. Well, I mean,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
How's working at the paper going?
Great. It's really great. I am working with someone else who's been in the paper a little bit longer, and we're working on some really interesting stories. I actually got a raise, so I kind of got like a little promotion. But things are going really well. I'm happy there.
That's really exciting.
Thank you.
But as sort of you all settle in to talk about it, your father, Peter Sr., speaks up. Right. So I was laid off because Mr. Evenwood has deemed my position at the company redundant with his new automatons moving into the factory. And the bank has decided to collect the remainder of what I owe on the mortgage. So I don't know if we can save the house. We have until the 4th to pay the remainder of what I owe to the bank, which is 2,342 talents. That is that's a lot of money. That's about what I used to make in a year. So I don't know what we can do. Perhaps we can, see if we can maybe move into a smaller house. I can try to find another job. And if the 3 of you would be willing to help with the bills, we can make it work. But I don't see how we can save the house. And we'll probably have to sell some of your mother's things in order to even afford that. At this point, Peter Jr. Pipes up and says, "Well, Dad, just so you know, when you first contacted us about what was going on, we asked around in our unit, if there was anybody who might be able to help out, and we actually got quite a few donations, including actually from the general who gave us a pretty sizable chunk of money. So it's not enough to cover the whole thing, but we were able to raise 500 towards saving the house, or towards saving the house." And Peter pushes just a rubber banded stack of bills into the center of the table. Thank you, boys. Thank you. That's a lot. We may be able to save your mother's things. We'll still probably have to move into a new place, but
Dad, do you have any money saved?
I have a little bit, but not enough to make up the difference here.
How much do you have?
Oh, like 250.
Okay. So bear with me here. Okay. So first of all, Pete Jr., Paul, the 500 talents, that's great. That's awesome. I'm sure that was not easy to do. I know we have been always a very proud family and it's hard to ask for help. So I commend you two for doing that. I think that's very brave of you. Would we, hypothetically, if I could get the money, if I could get the remaining, whatever $2,342 minus $750 is, if I could get that money, do we feel like we are all on board with saving the house?
Absolutely. And yeah, they all nod.
Okay.
This is where we raise you kids. This is, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to save the house. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to be really real with you two. or with you three. I have over 1,000 talents right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's fine. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. I am a respectable journalist. Okay. I make a lot of money. All right. You guys never believed in my writing career. And now here I am about to save this goddamn house. Okay. So I have 1,300. Hold on. Let me get my, definitely not Zuzu's phone. It's definitely a pen and paper. Hold on. So 2342 minus 750 minus 1303. Okay, so we're 289 talents short of saving the house. Do we have?
Yeah, they like check your scribblings on the paper.
Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna pull out the letter that I wrote for the Midwinter Ball, and I'm gonna like unfurl it and then put that money down, and then I'm gonna take the letter and look at it and be like, we don't need to look at that.
What was on that letter?
No, it was something stupid. Don't worry about it. And then I'm gonna pull out another 100 talents from the other night, and I'll put that down. This is all from the paper, okay? It's all from the paper.
Make a deception check for me, please. Please.
It's a 7.
Your father does not clock that you're lying, but both your brothers catch your eye and give you a...
That's all that matters, okay? As long as my dad doesn't know. I can talk to my brothers later, that's fine. Okay, so we're 289 talents short. We're saving this house. Do we have any ideas? I have some backup plans, but I would like that to be like plan Z.
I mean, we could try to sell some of our belongings. I don't know how much any of the things here would be worth, but we could try to sell some things maybe. Do a yard sale.
I hate that idea. That's a terrible idea. Anything else? We don't have any other ideas?
The twins are like, we totally exhausted our social network pen.
Okay. Do we have any alcohol in this house?
Your father's like, and then Paul pulls out a flask and hands it to you.
Okay. I'm gonna drink whatever that is.
It's real nasty, but
wonderful.
It does.
And I'm gonna put it down, and then I'm gonna be like, I'll be back in a couple hours with 300 talents, and then I'm just gonna be like, walk out of the house.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn back and ask like, no one touch anything. Nothing gets sold. Don't go into mom's shit. Don't touch anything until I get back. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go over. I'll kiss all of them on the heads. So tell them I love them. Then go out. And then how far away is Janara's house?
You know where Janara's house is. It's a bit of a walk, but
Okay.
yeah, you can get there or take the trolley or what have you. So
Does the trolley cost money? Because we're kind of in some cost saving measures.
the trolley does cost money, so
Then we're walking. Then we're walking.
it is quite a trek across the city. Your feet are sore, you are tired, but you do eventually make it to Janara's estate.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Joyce is going to go get the door.
Yeah, Joyce comes and it's like, oh, hello, Miss Presswell.
Hello, Joyce. You're looking lovely as always. It's amazing to see you. How are you doing? Is Janara home?
Yes, I believe so.
Great. That's wonderful. Thank you. Do I need an appointment to see her? I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
know.
you're her friend. You don't need an
Okay.
appointment to see your friend.
I didn't know if I needed an appointment.
Yeah, Joyce brings you inside. Janara, where this is like
I'm downstairs.
Yeah, this is actually middle of the day after Midwinter Ball. This is the
I'm downstairs
first.
training.
So yeah, Artemis at this point, middle of the day, is probably waking up in Herb Davis's bed. Everybody else is recovering from their hangovers if they have them. Anyway, Penny, you go and find Janara training in the training room.
Hi, Janara. Knock, 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 knock.
Hi, come
Hi,
in. Are you
how
here
are
to
you?
train?
No, I'm not. No, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. We do have that. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Can I get you anything? I'm at your house. Never mind. Hold on.
Yeah, can I
Okay.
get you anything?
No. Well, okay. Okay. Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. If the door's not closed, I'm going to close the door even though no one's around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Okay.
And I need you not to tell anyone you've ever met what I'm about to talk to you about.
Okay.
Can you promise me you're not going to tell anyone?
I promise.
No one in the rest of the secret organization we're both in.
If you need me to keep a secret, I will keep a secret.
Okay. So Penny's like on the brink of tears right now. Like she is
Mhm.
definitely like hasn't been sleeping well, is extremely anxious, is extremely depressed. She's looking real not good. She's straight up not having a good time.
Is it noticeable or do I need to roll? to
Penny's
notice?
definitely like a little,
All
she's
right.
like crying probably a little bit.
Okay.
She's probably already crying.
Yeah, don't roll. This is easy.
All right.
You
Okay.
also already clocked a few days ago that something was going on with Penny.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate to do this. This is against everything that I've ever believed in. And I hate that I'm in this position. And I hate that I'm asking you because this is so stupid because like I even though we're not like friends, we're like coworkers. And I feel like this is so ridiculous of me to ask something absolutely insane.
Penny, we're friends.
I hate that you said that because now I feel like I'm taking advantage of my friends.
No, what?
My family home, hypothetically, is getting foreclosed on in like 4 days. And I need 2,342 talents. And I have gotten 1,300 talents. And my brothers went to the army and asked them, and they gave them 500, which if you're asking
Oh.
me is like, that's ridiculous. Like really 500, that's what you got? There's 2 of you. There's 1 of me and I got over 1,000, but that's beside the point. We can talk about that another time. We don't have time, Janara. My dad, he has like 250, which again, like, why weren't you saving? Like, what were you spending your money on? I don't even it's so hard to money. It's so hard.
How much do you need?
I need 289 talents. And listen, I just got a promotion at the paper. You have my next 70 paychecks for however long. If you need interest, we can work that out.
No.
If you want a child
No.
from me, that's
No.
fine. I can do that. Not
Absolutely,
now, but
absolutely
soon.
not. No, it's a gift.
No, it cannot be. Janara, I'm serious. It cannot be a gift. I will
You
never.
have to come and train here once a week for the next 10 days with me.
Will I have to jog?
No, you'll have to punch things. There's no area to run around in here.
At least let me pay back half of it, please. And the mandatory training.
I'm going to consider your training to be your part-time job, and your time is how you're going to be paying me back.
Okay.
Right?
Well, okay.
Yes. I'm gonna give you some money because I'm assuming you walked here so that you can also get home.
No,
So-
I'm not some common person. I took the trolley. She says that she's like very sweaty.
I'm giving you 300. Take the trolley back. Don't walk.
Okay. Please don't tell anyone about this. This is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my life. And my life has been full of embarrassing situations.
I'm not going to tell anyone. And since we're being honest, by the way, I know you were really upset when some money showed up, but that was a gift from Joyce. And it's fine.
Why doesn't Joyce work for you?
Yeah, my parents give her money. Just like my parents give me money.
Do your parents really make that much money?
She doesn't work for free.
It's a lot of money. Why am I working at the paper when I could just be a Joyce?
There we go.
Because you love it and you're good at it.
But 400. She just gave me 4. That's okay. At least let me pay Joyce back.
No.
Okay,
It's
well,
from my parents.
I'll-
They don't need it.
then I'll pay your parents back. They don't need the money. I will work out. I'll slowly give you.
You're trading here once a week. That's your new part-time job. I'll see you for the next 10 days.
Okay. Thank you, Janara.
You're welcome. Great. Get home safe.
Thank you. And she's gonna be walking away. She's like, thank you. I'm really sorry, by the way. I value our newfound friendship. I'm not good at the friendship thing. I value this, and I'm very sorry. The first act of friendship that I did was ask you for 300 talents.
This
is
was not your
reflecting my
first act
future
of friendship. You're good.
Okay, bye. Thank you. And then she's gonna leave.
With the 300 talents, 1 talent to trolley back home. Leaving you 10
It was
whole
1 talent to go on the
spare.
trolley.
Yeah, it's not expensive. Leaving you 10 whole extra talents of that 300. You return back home and exactly meet the requirement to pay back the bank. You get to keep your family home and you don't have to sell any of your shit. So we love to see that.
We love to see that.
Your money is still like tight now, but your brothers propose a toast from whatever mystery liquor is in their flasks, and you all celebrate getting to keep the house.
To owning the house.
And you all cheers.
Fuck the rich.
And then later on that evening, as you're all getting ready for bed, your brothers are actually going to stay at the house for a couple days, but then they'll move into the barracks here in Waterdeep. Your brothers come find you. Your father's already asleep. They're like, so the money.
Yeah, we should talk about the money because honestly, 500 talents. You are 2 grown-ass adult men in the military.
Over 1,000 talents?
Yeah.
That's more than a lot of people make a year,
I'm
Penny.
an attractive woman in the city.
So you're...
No. Shut up. Shut up. Saying I'm an independent woman making my way in the world, getting ridiculous amounts of loans from rich people that I am going to regret paying back for the rest of my life. And it's fine. We're fine. We're here. We're living. Honestly, I didn't do anything for that money that Mom wouldn't, and I can say this honestly, that Mom wouldn't have approved of. And I can promise you that.
Make a persuasion check.
$18.
All right. Good night, Penny.
Night.
All right, so what does Penny spend the rest of her downtime doing? I know you're planning to go do stuff with Octavia regarding the case you're both working on. Is there anything else?
I'm just researching more about other foreclosures in the city to see which other neighborhoods are getting hit.
It's funny because by the end of this 10-day period, the other houses on your block get foreclosed.
That's like actually really fucked up though. Like we're just sitting there and everyone's
one or two other families on your block were able to scrape enough together to save their homes. But now your neighborhood is like a ghost town. There's like 3 or 4 families left. And with that sobering note, Octavia, what are you doing during this period aside from working with Penny? And we'll get to that in just a moment.
I'm gonna spend all of my money on spells.
Sure.
And
You do get it. You do. Oh, you
learning
do
new
both.
spells.
You do both get another paycheck during this period. And Penny, your new pay rate has now taken effect. After bills are deduced, your contribution to the bills are deduced. You make 50 talents.
Big girl money.
Yeah.
graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're spending all your money doing spell stuff.
Yeah, it should be $700 or 700 talents to get the all of the spells that I can cast from the spell book that we took off of the guard.
Great.
If I did my math right.
Great.
So it's three first level, 1 second, and 3 third.
I will take your word for it. Excellent. Yeah, you spend a lot of time doing research, and it costs a lot of money to get the right components and the right types of paper. But yeah, you're able to add all of this to your spell book. You craft some new flash bulbs for your camera.
I'm also going to practice not using my camera as a focus.
Okay.
Because typically that's how she would, but it's not a very discreet method.
Sure.
Of
Yeah, so
casting.
you also get in a little bit of time with another arcane focus of your choice. I think you said you had a component pouch as well.
Yeah.
So you keep practicing with your component pouch.
Okay.
Great. And then you both plan on visiting Donald McCready.
Yes.
So yeah, the two of you eventually track down this gentleman, Donald McCready. He he's lives in a shack in Cliffside Ward, which is just a series of like small rickety homes built onto the side of the cliff. That divides Waterdeep. And it's like walking on the pathways around here, which are also made up of rickety boards, is a little sketch. But you eventually find the shack where Donald McCready supposedly lives.
Just two young people go
Knock
to a
on the
shack.
door.
Oh, this isn't gonna go terribly.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
just gonna knock on the door.
Great.
Did
Yeah.
we come up with a story? Are we telling him? Oh, well, he knew your dad. Can we just drop your dad's name,
Yep.
or should we have a story? No. Okay.
A couple moments pass, and you just hear the door opens like a little crack, and a little eye like peeks out around the corner. Octavia, evens or odds?
Evens.
Evens. Yeah. Yeah, you're standing. Penny is standing like right in front of where the crack of the door happened, so his eyes see his eye like peeking through the crack sees you. Penny doesn't see you, Octavia, based on where you're standing. And he says, "All right, who is it? What do you want?"
Hi, my name's Penny Presswell, and I have my friend Octavia Beret with me here. Are you Donald McCready?
Who's asking? Well,
I just told you, Penny Presswell and Octavia Beret.
yeah, you knew what I
Okay.
meant.
Okay.
Why are you here?
We actually Octavia's father named you as someone we might be able to talk to about something. Potentially and then she'll like look around real nervously, and then she'll look at Octavia like, am I saying it? Or should I just drop the watchful order?
Yeah, door slams in your face.
Donnie! It took us 30 minutes to get here.
Go away! I don't want to talk about it.
We're here to help you.
No, we don't.
No, go.
We don't like them either. Should I be saying this out loud? This sounds crazy. I don't.
Octavia, make a persuasion check for me.
Okay.
With advantage. You and Penny are both working together on this, but
14.
there's a pause. But that voice. Door opens and he sees you for the first time, Octavia. Felocial?
What?
Alright.
No.
Alright, well, can't have you shouting about the watchful order outside my door. Get inside, get inside.
I wouldn't have had to if you wouldn't have. Whatever.
Just
Okay, I'm going. Oh my god.
all right. Yeah, you enter one room shack, tiny bed pushed up against the corner. Small like cast iron like cooking pot set up off to the side. Simple table, only one chair. He sits down in the chair. This is an older human man. He is a little hunched over. He's got sort of a scraggly gray beard. He's bald on the top of his head. And he's got like just, he keeps like glancing around. His clothes are like, worn and patched over multiple times. And he just slumps down in his chair. And he sort of drums his fingers on the table, and you notice that he's missing two of the fingers on his right hand. All right. Want to ask me about goddamn watchful order, huh? And he seems to have like reset, but you can like his eyes keep flitting to you, Octavia, and he's got like sort of a weird like, it's almost like he recognizes you, but that can't be.
I've never seen this man in my life. Yeah, so we're both reporters for the Waterdeep Times. My father works there.
Yeah, that damn fool Pierre, huh? He's still kicking around, is he?
Well, he's doing all right.
Why do you call him a damn fool? Sounds like something that has a story behind it.
He was trying to dig up some stuff on the watchful order, and me and my people had been sort of moving against them for quite some time, and I don't know, wasn't moving quick enough for him. Maybe we were doing something that was a little too dangerous. I don't rightly know, but he left before it got. Well, he left. I don't know why Felocial let him hang around with us all the time.
So he was part of your group?
No, not really. He just sort of Felocial, the person in charge of our little sect, said it might be useful to have a reporter friend. He was with us doing his investigation stuff, but he was never really one of us. And
So
like I said,
what
he
exact-
left.
When?
I don't know. He was hanging around with us for pretty regularly for a few months. And then, I don't know if things weren't moving fast enough for him or if he just didn't think there was anything worthwhile, but he decided that, what we were doing wasn't for him anymore. And he left.
Right, but like, how long ago?
Oh, gosh. A couple decades or more. Oh, gosh. What year was it when all that went down?
Penny's gonna like lean over to Octavia and be like, "How old are you?"
Like 25?
Was it like 25 years ago that he left?
Let's see. It's 99 now. It would have been. Yeah, it would have been in 74. Thereabouts.
Penny's gonna
Late
literally look at
73,
Octavia
early
like literally like,
74.
Can you excuse us for just a moment? I just need to unpack something real quick with my associate. And then she's just going to take a few steps back just to the other corner of the shack. It's not really that big, but she's going to pull Octavia aside. Do you know who Felocia is?
I just heard the name off of my father's list when we got it.
Okay, follow-up question. Do you know who your mom is?
No.
Octavia, we have some stuff to unpack after this interview. We're just gonna. Okay.
Let's get through this first, and then we can deal
I
with
just want to make sure. Are you okay?
that.
Because that's a lot of
Yeah, I'm fine.
information. Because I'm not okay with that information. So I just want to make sure we're hanging on there.
I'm fine. Let's. So, Donald, what exactly did your group do to move against the Watchful Order?
Well, we'd been investigating them for some time. They were very, we believe, Felocial believed that there was no greater tyranny than what the Watchful Order represented, which was locking magic behind an insane, barrier to entry in terms of the cost. So we were investigating them, trying to find out what they were up to. And they've been doing shady shit for quite some time at that point, ever since the Black Staff Aurora Eraneath took over. They've been doing some weird things, and we were looking into that, seeing if we could figure out what they were up to find a way to undermine it. But kind of went to
I'm sorry.
shit.
Were those names that took over, or is that a group?
Black Staff is the title of the leader of the Watchful Order.
What is
And
Aurora's last name again?
Eraneath, Aurora Eraneath.
And they're still the head of
Yeah. Elf.
how long? Elfin woman?
Yeah, she. Oh gosh, I don't know. She's been in charge of the Watchful Order as long as I've been alive, at least.
Okay.
But according to Felocial, the Watchful Order wasn't necessarily great before Eraneath took over, but it wasn't as shady as it is now, as it even was, 25 years ago.
Octavia and I have been looking into stuff the Watchful Order's been doing, specifically in Waterdeep, and we've been doing some investigating on them buying up foreclosed properties, specifically in the dock ward, and renovating them. A separate question, unrelated to the first. Do you have any experience with mind flayers in the Watchful Order?
No, I can't say that I have, but I mean, first time we actually made a real play against them. Understand, we spent a long time just trying to do research as best as we could. Stay on the outskirts. Made our first big play. Everything went to shit. So who knows?
Do you know how large the Watchful Order organization is? Like, are we talking hundreds or thousands?
Honestly, can't say.
And you haven't been in contact with any of the rest of your group in a while?
None of the rest of them made it out.
How many were in your group?
There were 9 of us, thereabouts. Not counting your father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No one made it out except you?
No.
What happened?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, cocked. Frick. That's terrible. 8.
No, I can't.
That's understandable. I'm sure it's hard to think about. But could you give us information on maybe if you know anything about headquarters or names of the Watchful Order, maybe where a specific place that went down that we could maybe look into?
Or maybe something that you found out that never that you were trying to act on before that shit happened.
Make one more persuasion check with advantage because you're working together on this one.
I rolled the same for both, so 12.
12. That gets you something, but not everything.
Okay.
There was a warehouse by the train yard. They used to bring in things on the railway and move them into that warehouse, and then we never knew what was in those railway containers, but Felocial had a bad feeling about it. Don't know if they still use it, but.
And where's the train yard? Is that in the Cliff Ward?
Would we
In
know?
Undercliff, yeah.
Undercliff.
Was that someplace that they took the people that they found guilty of using magic without a license?
Not sure. We had our suspicions, but. Be careful if you're gonna look into that. That place was a sort of a trap for us.
Any heads up you can give us about specific traps that might help if we were interested in checking it out?
Just don't pick a fight with them.
I have a question. Penny told me that she saw a person through a window that looked like me. Would I be able to put together the pieces of that may have been
If
who
you
he thought I was?
If you, Kira, are putting together those pieces, I would say Octavia can also be putting together those pieces.
Fantastic. And so back to Octavia. So you said nobody else made it out? And you're certain of that?
As far as I know, it was kind of all a blur.
So you're not 100% certain that you're the only one left. You just haven't been in contact with any of the rest. So you're just
We're just
assuming?
okay, make another persuasion check. I'll give you that.
Oh, yes, that's better. 21.
Listen here. No one could have made it out. All right. We went to that warehouse, see what was in there. And there was nothing. Showed up. It was empty. They knew we were coming before we even got there. And then a bunch of Watchful Order agents came up out of nowhere, including the Black Staff herself. Never seen spellcasting anything like it. My friends were falling left and right. Me and Nowhere barely managed to get out of there. But while we were running away, Nowhere got felled too. Right next to me's blood scattered all up my side. Nobody made it out but me. And I've spent the last almost 30 years afraid they come knocking down my door any given second.
I'm very sorry for your loss, but Penny said to me that when she was investigating, she saw a woman who was not me, but looked like me. And from your reaction when I got here, I can only imagine that may have been your friend.
It's impossible. It's not possible.
Would she have come for you?
Yeah. Not only that, she was the first one who fell in the fight. Blackstaff targeted her first. Identified her as the leader.
Well, that's very traumatic. Very sorry to have
Now,
picked at this wound.
if you two would kindly leave my home.
I'm so sorry to
Thank
disturb
you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
talking to us. I'm sorry to make you relive that. We won't bother you again.
Two of you exit.
Octavia, you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk? Okay, we're processing. Okay, that's fine.
Nope.
That's fine. We're processing. That's great. I'm here for the processing process. That's wonderful. And when we're done with that, we can talk about it at a different time. Just know I'm here for you if you do want to talk about it, because that was a lot that just happened. But yeah.
Let's get back to the city.
Great. Moving on. Bowman, what are you doing?
So Bowman just got recently hired to train Miss Rose Wilmington. So besides working, Bowman's just going to be training.
We'll go ahead and say that with Rose also paying you for training, you can go ahead and double what you would normally get each paycheck. Sort of the first evening of your agreed upon trainings with Rose, she shows up at the docks. She is wearing a much less frilly outfit than you've seen her in before. She's actually wearing like pants and boots and a simple shirt, cloak over to keep herself warm. So this is where you live?
I sleep here, but I don't live really anywhere.
Do you want to live somewhere? I could pay you more so you could afford somewhere.
No, I'm happy here.
Okay. So training then.
Yes. Well, I have an associate. Well, Artemis and I have an associate. Has a training grounds in their house. We'll walk over there and train there tonight.
Okay. Long ass walk from the docks to Janara's estate.
It's a warm up.
Sprint the whole time.
Bowman's
Warm up.
not. Bowman's not a fast person, so he's 60. He is going to be winning
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah. There are also, some steep slopes, and Rose is like, so is the hike across the city part of the training?
No.
Okay. As she hails like a taxi carriage service.
Bowman's gonna grab the back of her cloak and just kind of pull her along. It's like there's no taxis outside the city.
We're still inside the city. We're
And then we're just gonna keep walking.
yeah. By the time you get to Janara's place, she is exhausted. But you can start the training with her. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Rose, I guess you could call me.
Am I there? Is she talking to me?
Yeah. Sorry, they're at your house.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Bowman.
Miss Darling, if I do apologize for the abrupt intrusion, but if you wouldn't mind, we'd like to do some training.
Oh, by all means. I'm so happy people are using it willingly.
Is that a dig?
Incredible.
The dig it all, y'all.
Rose. Good on you. And then we're just gonna do some basic. There's a couple dummies, I assume.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show some basic hand-to-hand combat.
Great.
Grapples and takedowns.
Great. Yeah. You start walking her through all that. I would say at the end of the first day, she says, can we just start next time here?
No.
All right, fair enough. See you next time.
See you tomorrow, Rose.
You spend the next 10 days training Rose in the evenings.
I do want to go to Snack and buy a magical weapon.
Okay.
For Miss Rose.
Yeah, what sort of magical weapon are you looking to procure?
Just like just a basic +1 dagger.
All right. He does have one in stock. That is going to be like 125 talents.
Of course.
It, of course, because it is a snack enchanted item, will have an extra effect.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a +5.
You wish.
That's not a real thing.
No, it is. Sorry, let me consult the tables.
What if it screams every time you hit something?
Oh my god.
I mean,
Ow, that hurt!
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh God. That'd be awful.
You're killing the both of us.
It does 1d4 psychic damage to the wielder.
Yeah.
okay. As Snack hands it to you, you see he passes it over to you, and he settles into the floor a little bit more than he was. He's like, just so you know, and as you take the blade, you suddenly feel like yourself just lift just like the slightest bit. He's like, yeah, just so you know, that makes you a little bit lighter when you're holding it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
snacks.
not super good for me. I'm light enough already, but you know.
Bowman takes it, doesn't feel any difference. Oh, yeah. Much difference.
All right. You don't have to patronize me. Yeah, great. You have that. Do you give it to Rose right away, or are you planning to save it for a special occasion?
It is. I'm going to give it to her on her last day before she leaves the city.
Okay. Yeah, during your training, she hasn't expressed an exact time frame on when that will be. But she starts improving during the training. Okay. Nyx.
Nyx, first thing she's gonna do on like the day after Midwinter Ball is go down to Sanctuary's bar, because she needs to make sure that she has a job if she is going to quit Bloodkith, because she knows that the company's going down and she doesn't want to be there very much longer anyway. So just gonna go check on that.
Great. Yeah, you go there, meet Sanctuary. You met Sanctuary a couple times now. It's like, yes, I do think I have some work for somebody with a tinkerer's skill set. Let me put you through a trial first.
Sure.
This tap hasn't worked in over a year. It's the one I don't use. I put ale in all the other taps because this one doesn't work. If you can fix it, job is yours.
Okay.
Make a Tinker's Tools check.
$18.
You fiddle with it for a little while, put a bucket of water underneath where like a keg would usually go, and you start trying to get the water up through it, and you've fixed whatever the problem is.
Cool. I've never worked with these things before, so that could have gone a number of different ways, but hey,
The job is yours.
cool. Just a question, just in terms of planning and stuff. How much does the job pay?
So what I tell you you get is minus
Right.
bills. Basically what it tells you is what you're currently making.
Sure. That's fine. You know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Great. When do you want me to start?
Whenever you're available.
Okay.
Work during the day. I've got all sorts of odds and ends that need fixed up around here, so.
Sure. And hey, if any of your friends need a handy person,
Okay.
I'm here.
I'll
You
keep that in
can-
mind.
Definitely loan me out. All right, so then the next day, Nyx is going to go to the factory, and she just, hey, I quit. She's just gonna
Great,
come
yeah.
up and be like,
Nick shows up and quits
I
and
quit.
leaves.
Bye.
Not even a 2 weeks, 2 10-day.
Nope.
She's out.
They didn't like me in the first place.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
and I don't need them as a reference. So it's
Yeah.
fine.
You'll never be able to go back.
Yeah.
I don't know if there will be a company to go back to.
Fair. Don't tell them that.
But on my way out, I stop by and I see what's his face. What's his face? Angus. Angus. I stop by and I see Angus and I go, I don't know if you guys saw the paper yesterday.
Yes.
Y'all might want to get the heck out of Dodge.
See, here's the thing. We were thinking this might be an opportunity for us.
Oh.
While the boss is away, the workers organize.
Yes. Do it. I'm getting the fuck out of here. But if you want any help, fully support you. Got a lot of experience with organizations. Just I like hand over my address, like come find me. I can rally troops. Like, let's do this.
Appreciate it. Wish you luck on your future endeavors, and Angus will have
Thanks.
his hands to shake your hand.
Yeah, so Nick spends most of the next 2 weeks just fixing shit.
Yeah, it's hard work. There's a
yeah.
lot of shit that needs fixed around
Great.
Stevedores Steins. So
Love it.
yeah, you keep yourself nice and busy doing that.
Yeah. And then there's a couple EPA meetings that I go to. And,
Yeah.
Share the news that yep. Gerald Wilmington is back on our side.
Yes.
However enthusiastically that might be.
Sure.
And I assume that we discuss the news that the Open Lord is running for president and all that. Good stuff.
Yes. Of course, all of that comes up in your meetings. They are cautiously optimistic about Lashana Silverhand's promises. Of course, doesn't matter if she doesn't keep any of them.
Right.
But cautiously optimistic. Great. Shannara. Hang out with you.
So the main thing I would really, really like to do is I would love to have a conversation with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a way I can do this other than just the sending stone? I probably can't go and
Right. Yeah. So I mean, if you want to send them a message like, hey, I really need to talk to you, but it's gonna take longer than a sending stone is there, you could send like a message to that regard first if you wanted to and see what they say.
I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, you get back after sending that message, like if you give us a 10-day to get to a location with a teleportation circle, we can meet you at Leaf's Tower for a little bit and then teleport back.
I'll just respond with no huge rush. Don't change your plans too much, but it would be really wonderful to see you.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, you get the next message the next day from them with a time and a date. And so yeah, you go and meet them on that day and time at Leaf's Tower. Gather in the cramped sitting room. Your parents are there, as is the Tabaxi wizard that travels with them, Leaf.
There's a side room that you didn't see before.
Okay.
Hidden behind some of the towers of books and such or other rooms.
Okay. Great. Yes. Hello, Janara. Your mother hugs you. Your father comes over, gives you a kiss on the forehead. How are you doing, dear?
I'm okay, but I have a lot going on, and I would love to fill you in a bit and also try to get some information, because I feel like some of the people I might be dealing with may be people that you've crossed paths with, or maybe have some information on that you could help me send my adventuring party out with?
Always happy to help new adventurers. Lay it on us.
So I'm going to basically give them the rundown. I might not mention that I've killed someone, but you know, maybe
They've murdered plenty of people.
I probably end up giving them that detail as well, and just explaining that I was
Yeah.
really worried this person was going to, you know, kill my friends.
Self-defense.
You gotta protect your fellow party members. It's the most important thing. I understand.
And then at the end of the whole rundown, I'm hoping they might have information on the Watchful Order and Fear Kindler specifically.
Yeah. As you come to an end of this story, Matt, does Leaf have any input on any of this?
Leaf has been quietly sucking at his pipe, just kind of leaning against his tail, kind of against a tower of weird odds and ends that kind of resembles a scratching post, but not really. And just quietly watching, and now and then thinking, maybe I shouldn't be here for this conversation, but he's too curious, and nobody's kicked him out yet, and he's a little high, so he's just gonna stay there.
Sure.
Right.
So after you told this whole story, it's like your mother says, so the Watchful Order had someone called Fear Kindler. Well, I mean, the Watchful Order is bad news. I mean, you know, I'm a sorcerer, Leaf here is a wizard. Both have to have magic licenses in order to use magic here in Waterdeep.
Leaf hisses. He hates that.
But they've been bad news. In particular, I would be concerned about their current black staff. Aurora Irenaeus. She's got quite the reputation for being power hungry and willing to do anything to achieve what she wants.
What's her last name?
Irenaeus. She's not in the public eye very often. The Black Staff is supposed to be a protector of Waterdeep. Their role is supposed to be to protect Waterdeep from magical crises. But Aurora has only ever served herself.
Okay.
Now the name Fear Kindler, I'm not particularly familiar with. Fear, are you familiar? Your father thinks for a moment. The only Fear Kindler I've ever heard of is from history. I mean, Fear Kindler was a red dragon that in history books played a role in the Lumber Wars a few hundred years ago. I've got a passing interest in history, but I'm no like military historian. But my understanding of it is that Federation wanted, this wanted to absorb this large forest. There was a lot of pressure from the lumber guilds, but the forest was protected by druids. So when the lumber companies tried to move in, druids were causing all sorts of problems. So the Sword Coast went to war with the druids. The druids were beating them, and then the Sword Coast Federation paid a giant red dragon to come and burn up some of the forest, and the war ended.
Jeez.
But that's the only Fear Kindler I've ever heard of.
What I don't understand, so I told them about, what we found. All these other names are everywhere. you know, you can hardly go a block without seeing one of these names somewhere in the city. But it seems like no one knows who Fearkindler is.
Maybe by intention. But I mean, it's a mighty coincidence that this Fearkindler has the same name as this historical dragon. But it can't be. Waterdeep has magical wards that prevent dragons from entering its bounds.
Was I the one who heard? No, I wasn't the one.
No, that was Octavia.
That was Octavia, okay.
So I don't know,
Right
maybe
about
this
that
is some eccentric who changed their name to be the same as this dragon. I'm not sure. But I mean, dragons can't get into Waterdeep. I mean, those magical wards extend to include the parts of the city that aren't on the plateau. I mean, everything that is considered, that is even colloquially considered part of the city is protected by those wards.
Would Leaf have any more information? I know he was a retired archaeologist.
Do you want me to pull up his character sheet real quick?
Just make a history check and we'll say add plus, I don't know, 5 for int and another plus 4 for proficiency?
Great.
9 plus 9? That sounds right.
So that's a natural 20.
Great, that's a 29. So yeah, I mean, Leaf, you know, you kind of corroborate a lot of that, like you're able to corroborate a lot of that, like history lesson from Janara's father. He got most of the details right. You know, a couple little details are a little off, but in the grand scheme of things, nothing like that.
Sure.
You know, crazy important. In terms of the magical wards around Waterdeep, because that's both like an arcane thing and a historical thing. That's something that's been in Waterdeep for thousands and thousands of years. Leaf, you know that ward is controlled by a magic staff. That magic staff being Hold on. That's not right. I'm trying to find the correct staff. Hold on 1 second. It's got a hard name, so I want to have it in front of me before I tell you it. It is called the Dragon Staff of Agheron.
Woo!
Staff of what?
Agheron. Agheron is famously major historical figure in Waterdeep's history.
Still alive?
No, long dead.
So who's controlling the staff now?
So the Dragon Staff of Agheron is a magical artifact that is passed down through historical record in control of the people that run the city. Typically the black staffs. So that's so Leaf, you get all of that. So the Dragon Staff of Agheron controls the anti-dragon ward. Now the anti-dragon wards are undispellable. But the Dragon Staff can be used to allow particular dragons in on permission of the wielder of the staff. The wielder of the staff.
Dragon is still alive. We're screwed. Okay.
The wielder of the staff can also revoke that permission.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll finish writing those notes after. The other thing that I want to talk to them about is Lashana Silverhand would like you to back her for president because she believes that you have enough influence.
The Open Lord's running for president?
She is.
Oh.
She's running on a campaign for the People's Party.
Do you like her?
I like that she's running on a campaign for the People's Party, but I just met her a little over 10 days ago. So I don't really know her and I couldn't really get a read on her. I told her I would back her if she continued to support everyone having the right to vote.
Well,
But I told her I would also revoke my backing if she changed her stance.
Jadar, I'll be honest, we're not in the city that often. You know that. Don't really know much about the politics happening here. If you think she's a good option, then we will endorse her.
Okay, I will let her know.
Absolutely. She can, well, she has magical means of contacting us. She can. Otherwise, next time we're in a major settlement, we can reach out more officially. Probably not tonight, but we're the other end of the teleportation circle. We're kind of borrowing without permission, so
Should probably get back soon then.
yeah.
They'll be unconscious a little longer.
I'm going to hug leave. I really appreciate you making it here when I needed you.
Of course. We're trying to do better.
You're doing better. Okay,
Stay safe. Safe as you can, anyway.
I will. You too. I love you both.
Love you.
I'm not going to let other people know. I'll send out note to people saying at some point we should all have a meeting.
Yeah.
But we won't do it this 10 day because people are doing their own things in this 10 day.
Sure.
The other thing I feel like I don't know. I don't really have any other pressing things. I think I'm spending a lot of time with Sanctuary in these 10 days because I haven't seen him as often as I normally would. So I'm probably
Great. You see Nick's working on
yeah.
doing handiwork around the bar several times during that period. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
At the end of this 20-day period, news about the Bloodkeith case has been ramping up as the trial has been happening. And now it is time to determine the future of Bloodkeith Textiles.
We're rolling
Up to dice?
This
Yes!
Oh no!
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yeah.
Bitch is gonna get a
I
nice
was gonna
fishy
trust the
vacation.
justice system.
This is how the justice system does it.
It's absolutely
Oh
true.
god.
But they pay for the dice.
So, regardless of what I get on the dice, Ovina herself is going down. The evidence you found was damning.
What happened to Andraste?
I guess the dice will tell us.
Ooh, that flair. That flair.
Okay.
Ben, take a point of inspiration for that flair.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll roll a d8 with that.
Do we want higher?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
I don't
want
know.
higher numbers. This is
Okay.
a
Oh, great.
d20 roll. So,
Okay.
as this case goes on, over time, they bring in some star witnesses, including Ovina's father. Eventually, it ends up taking longer than this 10 days to completely wrap up the case. But by the end of the 10 days, most people have a pretty good idea of where things are going. The chief legal correspondent at the Waterdeep Times even writes an article about how, though there is still work to do, the case is basically over. Ovina Bloodkeith, the vast majority of her board of directors, as well as leadership of many other positions in the company, are all facing charges for embezzlement. Ovina is further being charged for a variety of other crimes. Now, only Ovina's punishment comes with jail time. Everybody else's punishment is fines. With the company in disarray for losing their CEO and most of the members of their board who are forced to abdicate their positions, an opening comes up for Ovina's father to take the company back over. Bloodkeith Textiles is still in the hands of the Bloodkeith. Ovina's father roots out anyone in the company that was loyal to Ovina, fires them on the spot. No conversation or debate about it. They're just done. During this period of confusion, the workers at Bloodkeith Textiles factories in Waterdeep and elsewhere use this confusion and opportunity to unionize, go on strike, and they basically present to the leaders of the various factories like, hey, look, this company is about to fucking crash and burn. If you want to stay afloat, you need us. So you're going to give us better conditions or the company's screwed.
The EPA also provides protection for the strikers against strike breakers.
Yes. Because Bloodkeith Textiles is in such disarray, they are unable to withstand against these strikers' demands for very long and capitulate.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations, you got the best result possible.
Woo!
Hey.
What happened to little old Dane Bloodkeith?
He's dead.
I think he
Found dead in the
disappeared
street.
before we got into the
What was fed
headquarters.
to the gelatinous cube?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Oh my
gelatinous cubes. The gelatinous cubes and the troll are of course found in Bloodkeith headquarters. The troll is very carefully removed from the city and released back in its natural habitat. The gelatinous cubes, fun story, they were kept in a secret room just off of the safes room and would be released into the safes room if it was entered improperly from the main door. That was the trap that you saw from the other side of the main door when you went in through the secret door, Artemis.
Oh.
What happened to Brian?
Is Brian head of security now?
Brian keep
You'll
his
have to
job?
reach out to Brian specifically to find out what happened to Brian.
He's
But-
totally dead.
The gelatinous cubes were also carefully removed from Bloodkeith Textiles and were acquired by the Watchful Order. Not great,
Oh shit.
but you'll win some, you'll lose some.
So basically, return to their natural habitat. As well.
Yeah, essentially.
They're kind.
So with that, the Bloodkeith arc comes to its conclusion.
One down.
One officially and completely down.
Many more to go.
Yeah, I feel
fuck.
like it's gonna
Easy.
come back up again.
With the end of this 10-day period, you all gather back together as asked by Freedom to discuss moving forward with your next target, Diero Marivaldi, president of the National Bank of Waterdeep.
Are we at Janara's or we at the?
I would say this time you're at Janar's.
Snacks.
Snacks, drinks, all the usual.
I like to think Penny was training this night and she's exhausted.
Yeah.
This is one of her tactics that she's had to do.
Rose was also training that night because Rose trains every night with Bowman. So the two of you were both there training. But Rose leaves before the meeting, obviously. Artemis, you wait a little bit before you show up.
Artemis shows up late to everything just so
Uh-huh.
he doesn't have to
Every
see her.
time Penny sees Rose training and then Artemis after her, she will go up to Artemis and be like, saw your girlfriend tonight. She's training downstairs. Every time, without fail.
I just imagine after like the 20-day period, Rose is now getting just like a mini 6-pack and is just getting more definition.
She's definitely getting
20
more muscle
days.
definition. She's getting more muscle definition. She doesn't have a
You
6-pack.
You haven't trained with Bowman. Bowman, you don't know what he's doing.
But yeah, I mean,
Damn, start training
This
with
is
me.
the thanks for subscribing to the Bowman 20-day challenge.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
training
Today,
with me.
plus.
You're getting buff. Well, you're
Yeah.
getting fast.
Yeah. Yes. Because this is the end of another 10-day. Of course, you all get another paycheck.
Oh my gosh.
So mark that.
God, that's so many bars of soap.
So many
Money
bars of soap.
back.
Yeah, you all are sort of having a good time. And then Freedom arrives, of course. And she sits down and says, all right, let's discuss what I found out. With that, we'll end the episode tonight.
Okay.
Nice little downtime episode. Thanks for playing, everybody. Some nice role playing for this downtime, and then next time we will get going with the Diero Marivaldi arc and see where that goes.
Yes.
So, thank you for playing, and thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to do all those YouTube things, follow us on social media, follow the podcast, everything like that. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you all next time. Good night.